So anyway, George Osborne, clearly a clean man when he's actually awake and washed and shaven.
And together.
Which is not often.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot more on the autumn statement with Mike tomorrow, but I just wanted to just see he was getting rather upset by the BBC. He slammed them and accused them of hyperbolic coverage of his autumn statement. He claims the BBC had unfairly represented the government programme of cuts and accusing reporters of producing a negative coverage. And as I say, Mike's going to go into this a lot more, but he really wasn't happy with the old BBC. Bless him.
Just think about that a bit. It says snippy Chancellor loses temper with broadcaster over reporting on spending cuts. I'm not sure what the snippy refers to.
Trippy, maybe?
Smoky, possibly?
Trippy?
I don't know. We'll think about that one. But on the subject of the BBC, let's bring your attention back to UK column analysis of the complex monster that the BBC has become. And remember that the public broadcasting arrangement part of the BBC, a budget of 3.656 billion, that's just under UK column revenues. And of course then alongside this we've got all of the commercial arms. So we've got BBC Worldwide with 1.1 billion of sales. We've got BBC Global News Limited, 91 million. BBC Studios and Post-Production, 37 million in sales. And then it got really interested when we started to see organisations like BBC Monitoring that were Foreign and Commonwealth Office funded. But when we did our investigative report into the BBC, we did point out here, note that BBC Monitoring is to be funded by the licence fee payers from 2013-14. Now, thank you very much to the viewer that said, are you aware of this lot going on? And what we've now got is BBC Arabic. If you want a translation of the page, you can use Google's translator. So you can find out that some of their headlines are to do with threatening to kill an American hostage in a video of Al-Qaeda in Yemen. So the BBC promoting, of course, all of the terrorism and ramping up everything about Al-Qaeda. Now, we've cheated slightly because we've gone to Wikipedia just for a little overview on this. We're going to have a look at this in more detail. But nevertheless, there's some quite interesting information here. So BBC Arabic Television is run by the BBC World Service, initially funded grant in aid from the British Foreign Office, but in 2014 funding was switched to come from the licence fee payer. So you're paying your TV licence on the basis that that's for programming provided to you sitting at home in Britain. Well, that's not what the BBC wants to do because they're operating their overseas propaganda channels, but they're going to do it with your money. And if we go on here, it says William Hague said that that BBC Arabic service would continue the BBC's valuable work in the region. Obviously, he was making that comment while he was Foreign Secretary. But William Hague was very keen that the BBC was able to pump its propaganda out into the Middle East and the Arabic world. And then if we get on to the meat of the finances, the annual budget of 15 million was funded by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office. But that's been passed over to the taxpayers. And even Wikipedia picked up that the BBC says it remains editorially independent, but some of the Iranian media have accused the British government of using the service as a propaganda tool. And the Iranian government issued a statement denouncing the news service as suspicious and illegal and working against the interests of the Islamic Republic. I think we'd say, UK column, well, we're going to stick with the Iranian view on this, but they're wrong. It's not just against the interests of the Islamic Republic, of course, it's against the interests of the British licence payer and the British nation state. So
I wonder how many people are actually paying their TV licence.
Well, I think an increasing number are not paying.
too.
You've only got to have a look at YouTube to see more and more video clips of people simply turning away the license fee collectors. License fee goons is the overview of the cluster of videos.
Guy, are you paying your TV licence?
No, certainly not. No, certainly not under no circumstances.
Good for you. Thank you.
Okay, so here we are. We'll just bring you up on this one, which is a reminder of what the BBC's up to. And this was the BBC promoting that the Quran should be featuring in the next coronation. And they went on to say that the former Bishop of Oxford, Lord Herries of Pendergarth, sounds like something out of Harry Potter, that. I can't read it properly because it's a bit small. But here is this being promoted by the BBC. So the BBC using licence payers' money for an Arabic service. And our comment is focused on the BBC, what the BBC is doing here. And of course, it's now also promoting that the Quran should feature in the next coronation. So we'll leave you to think about where that is taking us on behalf of the licence fee payer.